Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner-builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have this residential application. It's a covered patio deck area. And we have a fan here in the middle. I'm not quite sure of the actual diameter of it. There's a couple of doors. I believe the doors come out this direction. So this one here I have swinging out to the left side, and this one I have swinging out to the right side. But I'm not 100% certain of that. But it is important to note that information. We have a dining set over here and a reclining set, a TV over here. And let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions that I have. The overall dimensions I have, basically you can see here we have 6'6" to the bottom edge of the beams coming across here. I have these beams at 11 inches and 1/4, and I have the height over here at 11 feet 7 inches to the top, or the bottom edge here. Total distance 27 foot 8 inches, 14 foot this direction. From the post here to the wall, I have that at 13 foot, so that might be a little bit off. I do have this center position here, or this line here, just to show that's how I'm going to base the center position of the fans, as well as some of the units that I put in there in a little bit here. Diameter here, you can see I have it 4'2", or possibly 3'8". Not 100% certain of the true diameter, but this fan is centered within that line space, that 13 feet distance that I have here. So that could be a little bit off. It could be 13'6", center point, but we're just going to use this as a display for right now. Anything else? I think that's about it. 13'10" from this point here in the center to the outside edge over here. And let's go ahead and turn that off and look at a couple of different options. So first of all, I'm going to go into the slimline, and the slimline itself, I want to show why you can't really do something like this. So this is a no. However, the thing that I want to show is when you mount a slimline on a wall like this, the maximum drop that you can come, so straight out, the maximum drop you can come is 45 degrees. And with a 45 degree, and you can see that these are mounted the same way over here, with a 45 degree tilt, you can see that the ray doesn't penetrate down below the heater as well. So, depending on how closely the seating positions are on the outside edge, I know there's going to actually be a railing over here, but depending on how close these seats are, you're going to really miss about, probably about 1.5 to 2 feet from the inside edge here out to about this direction here. 45 degree tilt. And then you can also see, this is the other problem that I have with mounting the unit on the wall like this, is that we are not meeting the clearances to combustibles when this door is open. If this door was ever left open with the heater on, that would become a fire hazard very quickly, and I would say that is not a good idea whatsoever. I do have these heaters centered within the span from this point here to this point here, and that's the same over here. So this is why I say no on this style of mounting the 4,000 watt slimline units. But let's go ahead and check out another possible option, which is the 4,000 watts here, as well as up here. You can see now the 4,000 watt unit, I have approximately, I believe, about 4 feet from this point here to the edge over here. And let's go ahead, and then obviously this is up much higher. I don't have the actual dimension, but let's just go get that information for you. So from here to here, I have it at 6'9", and then the clearance below the heater itself is 18 inches from this outside edge of the heater to the clearance section, and you can see that I'm meeting the inner fan diameter, that 3'8" diameter, but I'm not meeting that. So we'd have to bring, if we were going to do something like this, we'd have to bring these two units, the inside units, down approximately about, it's probably about 3 inches roughly, so that we're meeting the true clearance to combustible materials there. So let's go ahead and just move this one as well. And again, not having the true information on the true fan diameter could make that a little bit of an issue. But what I want you to see here, more importantly, is with a 4,000 watt unit, and I'm going to actually take this down here. With the 4,000 watt unit mounted at that elevation, you can see that the intensity of the heater itself isn't really designed for that height of an application. So here the heater is very well for that height, but here we're about 2 feet higher, maybe 2.5 feet higher, and the intensity is just not going to be as warm here as it would be over here. So that would be another reason why I'm not really choosing the 4,000 watt for this particular application. So let's go ahead and turn that one off as well, and let's look at something else. The next thing I'm going to look at is this is a CD5224, and what I want you to see is, you know, placing any C series model. This is a 5200, so it's only 48 inches from here to here. It's a dual element unit, but when you take a C series and mount it on a vertical surface like this, you need to maintain a minimum of 12 inches of clearance above the heater, and so obviously this isn't going to work for this application. So that's why I want you to see that first of all. So let's go ahead and turn that off, and then let's go ahead and look at possibly placing some units just like we had on the C series, excuse me, the Slimline series. These are now CD series. These are 6,000 watt units centered within the patio again, and we'll go with the overall dimensions on this one here so we can see what we have as far as that distance is concerned. Let's see if I can grab that. And so you can see here we have at 4'9", and let's go ahead and see if we're meeting those clearances below the heater. Not a problem with what I have here. And then the last thing I want you to see, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this 4'9" section here. And the last thing I want you to see is number one, the ray. The ray is much more intense, so this would be very hot, and this would be just right. Same with this one here, just right and very hot. The other thing I want you to see too is that we're still not getting that outer edge over here. So what could you do? And this is probably what, you know, one of the two options I would say is, you know, simply moving the units over to the right, off-centered. This is about 1.5 feet here, off-center, and you know we're still meeting the clearances to combustibles. We're pointing the heaters straight down to the ground. When it's mounted on a ceiling, you can change the angle up to 30 degrees. You can see that we're meeting the clearance here based off of the clearance there. I'm going to show this a little bit differently. We can see the actual lines right here. So we're meeting those clearances with that straight down drop. Again, moving the heaters over would make this outer edge seating area much more comfortable. Now, could this dining space be, because of the fact that there's a door over on that side over there, maybe the dining space is something that would be moved more centrally located, so having the units centrally, you know, positioned within the patio would be best on this if that is true. But again, over here, having the seating on the outer edge would be less intense if we didn't offset the center position of the units themselves. Another thing I would say is the fact that, you know, on a colder day, there would be times that, let's see if I can explain this a little bit differently. So infrared is light waves, just like the sun. So here we have the structure of the building here, and we have shadow over here. If you're in that shadow, you don't feel the warmth of the sun. The air temperature from here to here is going to be exactly the same. However, if you're in the shadow, you don't feel the warmth, the infrared light wave of the sun. And if you step out here, you would feel that infrared light wave. Let's just say you step your feet out here, but your upper body is still in that shadow. Well, your feet will feel warmer, but your upper body will not. Same is true with infrared light waves. If you're in that true light wave, you will feel the warmth of the heater itself. But if you are outside, let's say you're standing over here where these heaters are located, if you're standing over here, you're not going to feel the warmth at all. Now, if we were to place those units back into the center position, and let's go ahead and turn those rays back on. So if we were to have these heaters set up, and let's just say that our dining space is really going to be more centrally located again. See if I can grab that right there. So this position would be heated just perfectly like this, but on those colder days, sometimes it's just as simple as, you know, simply moving a chair. So if you could move that chair, you know, closer or into the heating or heated area, you'll feel that warmth if it was, you know, left here in the center position. Another thing I want to mention too is that these are actually the 5200s. If I mentioned that improperly before, these are 5200s. A 6,000 watt unit is a little bit wider, and the footprint will be a little bit wider. So, you know, it would cover more of this outer edge, maybe about 6 more inches. But what I really want to do is go into one last option here, which is using the 6,000 watt unit here and a 4,000 watt unit here. Because of the heights, the 4,000 watt unit would be perfect for this installation height itself, and the 6,000 would be perfect for this installation height itself. Also, you can see that that footprint of heat, and I believe I have these centrally located, but the footprint of heat on the 6,000 watt is a little bit wider than the 4,000 watt, and you're getting more heat coverage on this outer edge over here. So if you were sitting here, this is the perfect heat footprint, but you will feel some of the footprint over here. Infrared light waves are light or waves that bend and stretch, and as they come out, they're actually going to, you know, let's say come out from here going wider and wider. Now this isn't the most intense section of the heater. This is the intense section of the heater on the inside edge, but you would feel some of that. So the people that are less interested in heat would be more comfortable out here, but the ones that are more comfortable with a little bit more heat would be more in this position here. They'd feel more comfortable like that. Lastly, I just want to talk about this door again. If I was to take a line here, and let's just go ahead and mark it from this point here out 36 inches, are we making the clearances to combustible this way? And it appears as if not. So that might also be another issue. Again, I'm not really 100% certain of whether or not this door swings out. Does it swing to the right? Does it swing to the, you know, left, or vice versa there? But it is important to note so that you may have to push them to the right anyways to meet the clearances to this particular object here. So I think that's about it. All right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, not monetize. YouTube does not support us unless we get a thumbs up or a comment, or if you tap into our YouTube channel. We appreciate that very much. Thank you. Have an excellent day.